Stock Talk. This is your host, Scott. Hope you had a good rest of your week in trading this week. We had another down week. So we've had two pretty bad weeks in a row as far as our portfolios balances go. Haven't made a lot of trades. We did make a trade this week. Did add back in on that SPCE. Bought a few shares of that this week, a couple of times, I believe it was. Other than that, not a lot of activity in the portfolio. Building a position in that one stock. The bad culprit this week probably was our MSTR. We'll talk about that and how it acted today. I really wasn't too happy with how it acted today. I can understand when it goes down, when Bitcoin goes down, but Bitcoin was actually up today, so it was down even when Bitcoin was up. So don't care for that, but there's a reason for that. It does follow the NASDAQ as well. So, but we'll take a look at that. But as far as the weeks goes, again, it's the portfolio that's moved down. That's why it's so important, and we talk about this a lot on this channel about pocketing money, making these trades and getting in and out of these trades, making that percentage on your money, and then putting it back to use at some other time. So that's our strategy, and it works pretty good for us. You can buy and hold these things, but you can see things that were up really good last week are down the last couple of weeks. So I like to make that money when it's available, and I call that pocketing money versus the portfolio balances, which go up and down year after year, month after month, week after week, day after day. So the focus for me is to pocket that money on those trades, and my goal overall is 6% for the year. So being retired, I can stay retired at 6% a year, and that's the goal. There's a lot of times you make way more than that. There's a lot of times that your portfolios go up higher than that as well. Last year was a really good year. This year right now, we are going to be lagging some of the markets like the S&P, the Dow, and the NASDAQ. They have grinded higher, but sometimes you just got to, stocks that don't necessarily follow the market, and that's what we've got going right now, what we're holding. But sometimes that works in your favor, and sometimes it doesn't. And the last couple of weeks has not worked in our favor, but we have some stocks that we think are going to be there towards the end of the year, especially in the coming months as well. So let's jump into that portfolio. Thanks for the subscription we got this week. Please don't forget to subscribe. There's a little button down in the corner here that you can click on the subscribe button. If you haven't done that, go ahead and do that before we get started here too deep. And go ahead and subscribe if you've been watching the videos and haven't subscribed yet. Don't forget to smash the like button too, also, if you like the videos. So let's go ahead and jump over to our portfolio. All right, so here's our portfolio, and you can see here we are down to a few stocks, just 6 stocks right now that we're holding in this portfolio. First one being SPCE, and I did buy that one this week. I think I bought it at 30, I want to say 35. Let's go ahead and pull up that 5-day chart. Yeah, I think I bought this in around 35.55. I think is where I bought first, and then I bought a little bit more around 31 something, I think it was. So bought two times, a little bit smaller lot the second time, just averaging down a little bit. So trying to wait and see when this one's going to stop bleeding. Last week, this thing had shot up when they were going on their flight, and then they came back out, and Monday they announced the offering, and it went down. So we waited till, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday, and bought in at that 35 level. And then yesterday, I think I added a little bit more at the 31 something level. And so it did keep falling again today. So it still hasn't found the bottom yet. This is a 1-month chart, and you can see we're below these levels here. So let's go on out a little bit further. And you can see we're at this level here. Let's go ahead and pull our lines over. And so this is a support area right in here. You'll see that. So we'll hope it holds that. If not, we can be down in these levels here. So that's not good. We don't want to get back down that far for sure. But that's kind of where the next stop would be. But right now, this is a support level, and it really needs to hold this level here. So today it did hit the day's range. It got down to 30.07, and so it held up for it. It held it today. But we're going to watch that next week, and hopefully this thing can catch its breath. It is still got a pretty good bit of volume on it. I don't think the interest is gone out of this one yet. Also, Bezos is they're going up in what's it called, Blue Origin or something like that. I think it's this weekend, so that's going to get a lot of attention on both of those, Virgin Galactic and Bezos trip there. I don't know that he has a private stock for that or not. I don't think they do. But anyway, this our SPAC. But watch that one next week. Hopefully that makes a turn next week, and we can pocket some money next week, which we haven't done a lot of that here recently. So we need to do some of that as soon as we can, trying to do that for the month. But we have done a lot of it this year, so it's not like we have to do it this month, but it's always nice to try to at least make what you're taking out of your account. That's what my goal is every week, try to do, every month anyway, is to try to do that. So that is my goal. So let's go back. That's Virgin Galactic. It this week, kept falling after the offering. So here's the Bitcoin. You can see Bitcoin was up today. It was up actually a lot better than that at one time. You can see the little chart over here. It did sell off towards the end of the day. But this one here trades all weekend, so that's a live number there. And we'll just watch it over the weekend. But it's been, again, the range 31 to 33, somewhere around in there. It's been kind of boring for the last week or two, or even longer. Let's take a look at that 1 month chart. You can see it's in this range here. But here lately, it's just been, this level here. But it is getting a little downward trend to it. So, and these are some support levels it's on right now. But it's really, you can see July 13th all the way back to here. But this is the level right here, probably the 33. It really needs to break through that, and then get up past this 36 level. But who knows when that's going to happen? It can move really quick, really fast. But we don't do a lot of talk about the Bitcoin other than because we've got these stocks here that are tied to Bitcoin, and one of them's a pretty heavy position. HUT's not so heavy, but HUT down again today. Let's take a look at that 5-day chart on HUT. I would imagine it was a downward trend on that one as well. Yep, we got a pretty good downward trend on that one. We don't like to see that, but that's just following the Bitcoin. So anytime that Bitcoin goes on a downward trend, you're going to see these go. This is what kind of disappointed me today. The MSTR, even though Bitcoin was up most of the day, you can see MSTR just barely got into the green a couple times over here on our little chart. But let's pull that chart up. And these were the high points, and they did touch the green, but just kept falling for the day. That's a downward trend for the whole day. But you see that high volume coming there right at the end of the day. You see these levels here. You got 3.43 thousand, and you got little levels. Then right here at the end of the day, you see this big spike, 21,000. So just some things I like to look for. The total volume on this one does not, it's not a lot of volume every day. So, but when it moves and you see millions of shares trade on this, you're going to see it move really one way or another. So this is just what I'm seeing here is just weak hands. But this happened all week. Let's take a look at the week. You can see here we went from up here at 622. Now we're down to 522, 523. So that's a pretty good little whack. And that's a trend we don't like to see. Let's see what the month looks like. Yeah, it started falling off right here, all the way to 682. Now we've fallen all the way down to 523. So back in June 29th or so, June 28th, into June, we've gone all the way down. So this July has not been good to this one. And the volume's low, though. So the volume's low, not something we're going to worry about as far as, it being a major ordeal. Things do fall when you've got low volume and weak hands. That's what happens. All right, so Novavax did have a good day mainly because of Moderna, I think, because Moderna got accepted into the S&P. And it kind of took Novavax up with it today. Novavax had a really good day today. Let's pull the chart up on that one. And Novavax week was not bad at all. It's only down about 1% for the week. So, and you can see the volume here was, average volume, a little bit lower than average volume. So, nothing really going on there. 5-day chart on Novavax. You can see here you did have a couple of rough start to the week. Stayed down here pretty low, and then today made up for most of it. So, we only ended up down about I think it's let's see, 1%, 1.03% for the week. I'll take that just with no news. I mean, and we also stayed above that 185 level. That's something I look at all the time is the different levels. As I said last week, Monday I said it could go all the way down to 171, and this week it did get down to that 176. I think it got even lower than that. That's what it's showing there. But yeah, it can get down. And I was thinking, 175 is a good support level. 171 would be the next level. I think is where it usually settles. But you can see it held up to 175 pretty good, and it's moved back up here to the 185 level. So we need to hold this level here as 185 and work our way back to a good blast off level. We were all the way up here recently at the 220, 221. If we can get the news and we're sitting over 200, I'll be real happy with that. I'd like to be around this 215 level or something by the time when the news comes out, because I want to get back to these all-time highs, which is 331, and it can do it. Especially, they're going to have the news come out with these applications for the approvals, and that's going to make it jump. And there's several of them that could come out, day after day, which could keep it moving. And after that is, of course, when the actual approvals happen, then that's going to make it jump as well, I would think. So I think there's some good opportunity to break this high, and that's what I'm banking on, and that's why I've had a rough couple of weeks because it's been going the other direction. But there's a reason that I don't sit here and get worried about it. It does pull back. Now we did time some sale earlier on the cash account. We did sell some a few weeks ago, close to the highs here, and so that was always good. We wished I'd sold it all and then put it back in there, but we didn't do that. We really needed some cash for something we're doing around the house here, so that's why we did that. And don't normally. I wanted to hold out for the all-time high on this run. We've traded it a lot this year. We've done well on it since 2016, and so this is just one you got to just hang on. It's a roller coaster. There's no doubt about it. Let's take a look at that You see this 6-month chart? There's your roller coaster right there. Look at that. I mean, it's just up, down, up, down, up, down. You just got to hang on for dear life with this one. I mean, it's just been like that for a while. So understand that. Don't get panicked when it goes down. Just hang on. That's what I do anyway. You can do whatever you want. This is not financial advice, but just from experience, I'm just telling you this is the way this one acts. And it's all about the news. And then at some point, we're going to get to where it's all about the money. So, but right now, it's all about the news. All right, so that's where we're at on Novavax. Tilray had a rough week, almost 14% down for the week. We don't like to see that. That's been a downer for the week, but our stake's not as large in Tilray as it is in the MSTR and Novavax. Those are our two big holdings right now, Novavax being the largest. But this one's, a decent size holding. We got it in one account at a terrible price, and then the other account we got at a decent price, but it's already gone down probably 15, 17%, maybe even more than that now, because it's about 14% this week. So we may be buying some more in the other account soon. I got to see it try to trend back up a little bit before I start adding to it. But low volume on it as well. You can see here, 20 million versus the 25 regular. So nothing major going on that either. Just been a kind of a slow. This is what happens in the summertime a lot of times with the market. Things just slow down. There's not a lot of volume, and people take their money, go on vacation, whatever. Nikola down about 8% for the week. So you can tell it was not a good week by these numbers I'm putting out there as far as the balance of the portfolio. But we haven't lost a dime because we hadn't sold anything. Of course, we haven't made a dime because we haven't sold anything. So that's the way I look at it. Again, it's these balances and these volume. Those things, they don't bother me as far as it going up and down because that's what the markets do. And if you can't handle that, you probably don't need to be in the stock market because they go up and down all the time. They don't go straight up, and they don't usually go straight down. But I will say this: it seems like they go down faster than they go up. But that's just the nature of the beast, and you just got to play the game. But there it is that you can see at the downward week as well for Nikola. And today, the markets, you can see here that all the markets were red today. But these things are doing good for the year. If you were in these indexes like the SPY here, DIA here, QQQ here, you would be doing well for the year. The Dow is up. The Dow is now up year to date 13.33%. The S&P year to date is now up 15.20%, 15% on your money. That's nothing. There's nothing wrong with that. NASDAQ is about almost 12. It's 11.94% for the year. So that's, if you had your money in the SPY, DIA, and QQQ, you'd be sitting pretty for the year. Now, right now we are getting beat by all three, but that's could be a temporary situation. We were right there with them just a couple of weeks ago, and last year we crushed them, and they had good years last year, but we still crushed them last year. And that's one of my goals too, is to beat. Even though my goal is 6%, my goal is always to beat these markets. And if you can't beat the markets, you really need to just put your money in an index fund. And a lot of folks can't beat the markets, and I don't beat them every year, but we do beat them more than we don't. So, and that's good. But last year we actually crushed them pretty good. So, and when you have really good years like that, and they get ahead of you this year, that's okay. My plan is to catch up. And what's going to catch me up is both these two that's been hurting here lately, Novavax and MSTR. I think those are, before the end of the year, you'll see some good things out of both of those. Feel more confident about the Novavax than I do the MSTR, even because it's tied to Bitcoin, so I don't really know what Bitcoin's going to do, but I do suspect it's going to give it one more charge for the end of the year anyway. So we'll see. But again, I can have a lot more confidence in Novavax because I just know what's coming there. But got confidence in both of them because we got a lot of money in both of them, so that's confidence. If you put your money in them, you better have some confidence. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to hang on to those. Hopefully turn this thing around as far as the portfolios go next week. Be watching that SPCE real close to see if we can get a good pop out of that. If we can get 3 or 4%, we might take it in a week's time. But that thing can jump pretty quick. We'll see how it goes next week. The other Bezos doing his thing may actually hurt that one. Just thinking it's ahead of that one. Whatever. There's a little competition going on there between the two rich guys. You're rich when you can have a competition on who can get to space. So you're rich when you can do that. But we'll just wait and see what happens next week. Again, try to pocket some money. That's what we like to do on this channel, is pocket that money, make those trades in the plus area. We very seldom sell anything in the red, unless we just get disgusted with something. And we've done that too, but most of the time it's hang on until they come back. So that's been my strategy. It's worked pretty good since 1999. So that's what we're going to stick with. All right. Well, I hope you have a good weekend, and let's hope we have a better week next week trading. And we'll talk to you sometime, probably Monday evening or maybe Tuesday evening. But we'll just see how it goes. And but more than likely one of those days, one of those nights, and then we'll, of course, cap it off at the end of the week. All right. Have a great weekend, and don't forget to subscribe by clicking this button that's going to pop up right here. Appreciate you watching. Have a great day. Bye.